Buenos nachos, amigos, and welcome to another fun episode of Record Breakers. I am Petey Rape, your man with no plan. Here with me is my team, my friends. We got none other than Brett.
Hoy hoy.
We got Drew.
Hi.
And we got Patrick.
Hello.
We're here to talk about music, and it's going to be a very interesting week to talk about music. Because I'm actually, as I've been doing this experiment of easing everybody into like different aspects of like Korean music, especially with my newfound appreciation for East Asian pop culture, as evidenced by my podcast with our friend Brandon Cooper, aka King Kaz, Hallyu Juku. And I've been throwing out some genres, and I've been kind of, picking my spots and, kind of waiting on actually delving deep into like the K-pop proper. And I decided this week is going to be the week that we do it. We're finally going to learn who those lovely ladies that are always peeking over my shoulder on every podcast I do are. And that those ladies are FX. And the album we're going to be talking about is this one, Red Light. FX's Red Light. It's their third full-length album. They've been around for several years, for like 4 or 5 years, since like 2009, 2010. They're a 5-girl group. They're a girl group, actual K-pop girl group. 5 multinational members. We got 2 Koreans in Soli and Luna. We got a Korean American in Crystal, sister of Jessica.
And a caveman.
And a caveman. Don't talk about Amber that way. We talk about Chinese national in Victoria, the tallest member, and of course the Taiwanese American Amber. 5 girls making some music together that other people wrote and composed for them, and performing it well. The album Red Light. I gotta talk about some expectations. Brett, what expectations did you have coming into this album?
I had no idea what I was getting into. I say that a lot. I really had no clue what I was getting into. You have made me. You've sent me music before, but it was not pop prime. It was either, Korean music plus this. This was a deep dive into the heart of something that I have no cultural understanding of. But I did see in the track listing there was a song called Dracula. So I did know a little bit about what was coming up with that one.
Yes.
Luckily not Dracula, because that song is terrible.
Wait a damn second, Drew. Are you talking smack about Rob Zombie up in this bitch?
I'm backing Drew with that one.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll bet that's not his best work.
I will talk mad shit about Rob Zombie.
But that's another show. That's the entire Rob Zombie episode. Drew, what since you're speaking already, Drew, what were your expectations coming into this album?
You said it was a girl pop group, so I expected girls singing music in a language I did not understand. So that's about all I went into it knowing. Now, I knew a little bit of like the style that I was going to get into, because Korean pop happens to be the milieu of, say, people I watch on Twitch when they play StarCraft, because it's all Koreans. So I kind of knew the sound I was going to get, but not necessarily the minutia of it, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And Patrick, what were your expectations coming into this?
I was hoping for math metal because I saw FFX and I'm a math person. Step back, I have a math degree because I'm a weirdo. So I see F open paren, X close paren. I think math. But I knew it was K-pop because Petey said it was K-pop, and I don't have a whole lot of experience with K-pop or even J-pop for that matter, outside of the realm of it being occasionally the soundtrack to animes I enjoy. Yeah. So I had no idea. But I figured it was poppy, and it was from Korea.
Yes.
Specifically South Korea, because North Korean pop music probably sounds like the early 80s.
Yeah. I can show you the video of somebody put the North Korean Girls' Generation, and it was like these girls, and I have to give them credit. Their costume on stage, instantaneous costume changes were mind blowing. Like that was just some wild stuff. Y'all go check that out. North Korean Girls' Generation, check that out. But that's beside the point. But FX is a really cool, interesting group because FX is kind of had this position in SM Entertainment, the label as a whole, is kind of this other group. SM Entertainment's headliners are Super Junior, Girls' Generation, now SHINee, and now EXO. And FX has always been this solid group that's always been there, putting out cool music, putting out solid music. And this record is another example of it. Of course, like Swagger said, they style their name to the tune of the function of X, kind of talking about their versatility in the way that they can put in different variables in there, make their sound. But yeah, this album is really interesting. It's darker than their previous records in some aspects. It has a lot of different sounds. It has a lot of different singles. It explores different pop sounds because there's different producers being involved. And it's exactly what you kind of expect from a pop record. But it has a lot of really cool different sounds. Some like some like pop, some like electronic dance pop, some kind of like a little bit of some classic rock elements in there, thrown in there. Yeah, it's kind of an odd mix. But let's talk about the themes and elements. Brett, what would be the themes and elements that caught your attention?
You get all kinds of pop songs. You get the ones about how awesome vacations are, and you get ones about Dracula. I think that covers about all the pop music bases. But it's poppy dance music. It's stuff that you wouldn't feel too awkward about the hearing in a dank basement club at some points, and at other points you're like, there is a cultural divide here that I can't quite explain. But it is what you would expect out of a team of strapping young ladies who were cast in the roles of being in a band together.
Mm-hmm. Drew, what would be the themes and elements that caught your attention?
Well, to me, the whole thing fell a bit flat because it just felt like sort of the thing that I did not like about pop music back when it was the groups of pop musicians back when I was growing up. You could feel the sort of, like Brett said, they were put together to make pop music. And it felt like that in a lot of spots. That being said, all of them could sing really well. The songs that were created were very tight, well composed. They sort of, whoever composed them knew exactly like the pop points to hit, and like the bass was solid and punchy in the mix. There was enough like fun melody parts on like synths and pianos and things like that. The music itself was composed really well. But it just sort of like it felt like what it was to me, and that sort of put me off at first overall. I try to look at it from did I like it and is it well made, and for what it is, it's very well made, so I can't knock it for that.
Yeah. Patrick, what were the themes and elements that caught your attention?
On the positives, I will say I feel like more effort was put into this as a pop record than a lot of pop music is in the U.S. And that's not to say all of it. Some of it's really good. I mean, Brett brought us, fucking Lady Gaga a couple of months ago, and I really love that. I think that is what happens when you try to make a really good pop record. And I think they tried to make a really good pop record. And if they had stayed the fuck away from trap music, they might have even done it. But fuck trap music. I hate it with the passion of 1,000 burning suns. fuck trap music. But again, when they were good, when it was a pop song and they stayed away from that, it was you could have replaced the words with things that were vaguely American, and you could put this on the radio and people would enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, and I feel like there was more effort put into it than your average Katy Perry song. But
Set
I
the
hate
bar
trap.
real high. There.
That's what I mean, though. Like, that's what this. If we're drawing parallel lines, I assume these guys sell a fair amount of records every year, played a big sold out concerts. You know, they're big in their home country. They are a pop act, and to me, pop music is best summed and skewered by saying Katy Perry. It is very lowest common denominator in America, and I feel like this is, when it's good, it's a few rungs above that. But fuck trap music.
Yeah, and we was talking about some of the key tracks. The title track in both terms that we understand, both terms of Korean and music understand it. Red Light. I'll do the record breakers thing this episode. Talk about the opening track. Red Light is that kind of interesting, darker turn that we would have seen on their previous record, Pink Tape. It has really cool elements and music stuff going on there with some like the clockwork stuff, and it's what, you know, the music video is what this styling that you see behind me is from. It's a really cool track. We have songs like Mujige or Rainbow, the song that Patrick is talking about with the trap music, which I think I find as a fun track. It's even slightly better when What's Up did their song that was done by the same guy who decided to recycle this track for their song Shut Up You just recently, and that one was fantastic. And it's a fun and interesting track. We have All Night, which sounds like their version of like the Bad Rabbit sound, which is fun, and a song like Vacances, which is about vacations, which was fun as well. Brett, what would be some of the key tracks for you?
Well, let me just say, put it up a little bit, the music. Yeah, it does start off like, you're like, oh, it's some pop music. This looks like a trendy hot track that you could boogie dance to, if that's what you are wanting to do. You know, that's All Night. It had the digital orchestral hits. And you know, that's anytime they use the digital orchestral hit, it makes me smile. On top of the '80s baby making pop bass line. You know, they brought all kinds of weird synthy toys too. I mean, it was like they had all sorts of any doodad that can make a noise. They had it making a noise in that song. And then why not Dracula? The song's concept was more memorable than the song, but anytime you bring Old Man Vlad into a song and it's pop music, it's a thumbs up. It's you get a yes from Brett.
Yes. True. What would be some of the key tracks for you?
To me, the one that really hit it, that I would, if I was going to go back and listen to something from this album again, it would probably be Butterfly. Something about like the way the verse has that really cool low end to it, and then it kind of ramps up into the pretty chorus. They do that. They do the ramp into something very, very pretty sort of thing a couple of times in this album, but there it's like every verse is kind of like this like sort of quiet like building, and then it builds in the chorus. I think that was really cool. Dracula. If there is not a Thriller homage video for the song Dracula, I think there should be. Like it should be one of those like story arc sort of videos. I think that would be really cool. I don't know why I got that
video for a 3.5-minute song.
Right, exactly what Thriller did. Same thing. And then I've got to ask the question, and Swagger touched on this. Does every K-pop album have the rap song like Rainbow, or is it just the ones that I've been hearing? Because it seems to happen.
hip hop and R&B and soul is what formed the core foundation of K-pop in the same way that pop and rock and core pop stuff forms the foundation of J-pop. It all started with Sateji and the boys bringing like the new jack swing, in the early 90s and saying, hey, this other shit's going on. And then it was all like, that's the foundation. At this point, every group, they have their roles. Like a basketball team has the point guard, the shooting guard, the strong, the power forward, all those roles. Every K-pop has those roles. Main vocals, lead vocals, visual, let's be honest, and the rapper. Every group has a rapper. So
breaking, graffitiing, MCing. What are the four elements of K-pop?
Vocals,
tables,
performance.
someone on tables.
The four elements are vocals, rapping, performance, and visuals. Dancer, visuals. Like that's basically it. And there's the lead dancer, and then there's the person who's there because they look good. And variety shows, and being on variety shows. That's another key element. But yeah, I would say every core K-pop group has a rapper. So there's I don't know if every album has sort of the one that leans more towards their stuff. At least one song, and every lead single has the rap breakdown. This one less so. They actually had Amber do less of her kind of like what she's done before in the previous records. Whereas
is that the one that kind of looks like Edward Furlong?
Yeah. That's my girl, El Capo di Tutti Capi of the English-speaking mafia and K-pop, because she knows everybody and everybody pays homage to her. Kind of silently. She has her enforcers, but she's the godmother. But yeah, kind of. She has more. She's always been the rapper of the group, but she's been a little bit more cohesive in the mix of the sounds in this record. And yes, the Thriller tribute video, I'm sure, could have happened if Sully didn't go a hiatus 4 weeks into the promotion cycle. Sure, it would have happened.
Fair enough.
Awkward. But she landed on a good penis, so that's good. Patrick, what would be some of the key tracks for you?
So, like I tried to say, I didn't hate all of this album. I hated the trap songs. All Night's pretty good. That sounds like the song from from a slice of life anime where a boy and a girl are going on a date on a beach or some shit. That is that song, and it's kind of good. I really like Dracula, mostly because I didn't actually know what it was about other than the word Dracula was said, and I'm sure if I knew the lyrics, I would hate it, because it's probably some Twilight shit, but it was kind of a good poppy song.
No, I had access to the lyrics. It had nothing. It was.
Oh, thank God.
No, it was.
It had a really, really, really catchy chorus, and that kind of made it. And the song that I hate that I enjoyed the chorus of because I hated the rest of it, Boom Bang Boom, had a killer chorus for a pop song, and they ruined it with trap music. And I think I am not, like, of the musicians on this podcast, I am easily the least talented among us, and I think I could make like a #1 selling trap album if you put someone else's name on it, because it is the lowest common denominator of shitty pop music, and I hate it. But there's some good here. Like I said, All Night's good. Red Light's pretty good, the opener. It sounds like American pop music, but I don't understand the words, which is fine, because American pop music doesn't have anything to say and hasn't since a long time ago. So I'm in with that.
Yes.
But
yes, some fantastic tracks. Like you guys said. Let's go back around the horn and talk about some conclusive thoughts. Brett, what would be your conclusion about this album overall?
All right, settle in, kids. At the end of the day, it's about as sterile and contrived as any group that's formed with a casting call. Mm-hmm. It's also a singing group. The artistic credit of the music, good or bad, really can't be placed on the young ladies who are singing and dancing. For the most part, yes, they're really good at singing. The team who produced this did a real bang-up job with the arrangements, but it's hard to hold this kind of music to the same scrutiny as, a band that, the members who are on display are the principal songwriters and the people who played the music. I mean, now do I think that the Dead Kennedys would have the dance skills or look good in today's hot, trendy outfits? No.
Let's be honest, Jello's not much of a looker, as good of a frontman as he is.
You just can't come to this with the same measuring stick as you can with your, listening to Deep Purple, let's say. They're different critters, but there's both music coming out of the mouth holes of them. So if you come into it thinking I'm going to see the pinnacle of musicianship, probably not going to get that. It's if you're looking for something that is culturally significant to a large group of people that obviously have something that attaches them to this, you don't have to understand it to know that it's a thing. I don't understand it, but I know it's a thing. That's for damn sure. These guys are huge. Just go on the internet. There's a guy in Miami who has a poster of them behind him. So obviously they're international. So just know what you're getting into, and don't come into it thinking you're going to get one thing, because it's not going to be that thing. It's going to be what they give you.
Yeah. True. What would be your conclusion about the album overall?
Actually, a lot of the same conclusions that Brett had. It is a band that got pieced together. And they do their part really well. They're pretty ladies. They dance well, and they look good in, as Brett would say, today's hot, trendy outfits. And they sing really well. They have good voices. And it didn't sound like there was too much fakery going on. They just sounded like they legitimately had good voices. So that part of it was great. The people who produced the actual music and composed it, they also did a great job. They know how to compose a great pop song. Is it for you? Maybe. I sort of like to go into the band and look at them as the people I'm looking at can sort of give me who they are, and that's not what this band is going to be for anybody, because it's not what it is. If that's for you, that's for you. It wasn't for me. But what they did, they obviously do it well.
Patrick, what is your conclusion about this album overall?
If you really love pop music, and there's nothing against that, I love bits of it. Everyone does, I think. This is worth listening to just because it is a different culture's take on a genre that's, I think, really familiar to a lot of people. It's not without its gems. There are a couple of songs on here I genuinely enjoyed, as much as I hate on trap. It's well executed. Like I said, I think there's more effort put into this than a lot of American pop music in sort of the current atmosphere of it. It's not my thing, and that's okay. I mean, not everything is going to be. I loved last week's album. I'm gonna love next week's because I'm picking it. I didn't love this one, but I'm not. I don't regret listening to it at all. It's pop music, and if that's your thing, if you really like pop music, I think this is a nice place to venture out of your comfort zone and try something different.
Yeah. This is it's funny because I kind of kind of expected the reaction that I got. I kind of just wanted to see what you guys thought.
Welcome to my world, Petey. Welcome to my world.
Except that I kind of knew that it wasn't going to be your thing, but that you guys would understand what the value of it was. And this is a fun pop record. This is a fun group that put out, and this was a cool record. And I wish they could have promoted longer and probably won a few music shows. It's funny because there's a lot of things that are thrown around about this group, that they're K-pop's top hipsters, and kind of the delusional stands, who I appreciate that you love FX, but let's back off a little. We'll try to talk about, the true artistry. Oh, they're so avant-garde. Oh, they're so different. I was like, no, stop it. It's just pop music. They do some cool things that are different from what you see on a lot of K-pop, but that's just because SM is a big company and they have a bunch of stuff that they distribute out to different artists and ideas, and they tend to give FX the kind of left of center stuff, you know. But at the end of the day, it's pop music and it's K-pop, and it's just a fun record, and I can just jam to many of the songs over and over again. And I love FX, and Amber's my homegirl. I spoiled my haiku. Damn it. They're fun people, and I hope for much success for them. And I'm excited for Amber's solo record, no matter what it is. But yeah, that's FX. I dig the record, I dig the group, but it might not be for you. It's pop music. Understand that. But most of the people watching this are, the people that are still here that haven't checked out at the beginning are going to be the people that are regulars. So it might not be for you. The people that checked out, it's probably mostly for the people that checked out a minute into this video that I can see the drop off of the retention ratings on YouTube. That's going to be, it's for them. But give it a try. You might like it. All right. So, now we get to our haikus. Let's start with Drew, since he's already on the screen. Drew, what's your haiku?
Korea girl pop. Emphasis is strong on pop. Composed well. No heart.
Patrick, what is your haiku?
Not all that bad, but trap is a plague on music. So this is K-pop?
Brett, what is your haiku?
Group more than a band. Highly successful ladies. Can't say I dig them.
Mm-hmm. And my haiku. K-pop dance pop queens. A cohesive mix of styles. Amber's my homegirl. That's it. That's our thoughts on FX as Red Light. You can check it out on the Spotify playlist. Listen to it over there. You can follow along. Record Breakers, the home game. Also on the Spotify playlist is going to be next week's record, which is going to be provided by, as he said, Patrick. Pat, what is your record for next week?
I'm going to pick something new that came out in 2015. Because it's a triumphant return of a band I have liked for a while, Slater Kinney, and their new album, No Cities to Love.
Mm-hmm. So check that out on the Spotify playlist. Listen along at home. But that's it. You can find us all over the internet. Patrick is at The Swagger. Brett is at HibbittyBearbird, HIBBITYBIBBARD. Drew is at XDruciferX. I'm at Petey Rave. The show's at 4 Record Breakers. That's the number 4 Record Breakers, like the 4 Horsemen. I guess I'll be Ole Anderson. Number 4 Record Breakers. RecordBreakersPodcast.com. RecordBreakersPodcast@gmail.com if you want to email us. RedBelly.net for this and the other shows. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/RedBellyTV. I'll be posting not just for now it's just the video versions of all the podcasts, but I will be going on trips soon. I'm going to be going to South by Southwest for K-pop Night Out and Japan Night. I will be going to Jury Mania, a WrestleMania weekend indie stuff with none other than Justin Robert Young. I will be doing ASIN and a bunch of other places. And I will be doing video content from those places. So check it out on the Rebelli YouTube. youtube.com/RebelliTV. But that's it for us. Until next time, hasta los huevos.
Toodaloo, y'all.
Trap music is awful.
And it's a bit boing boing.